Hello everyone, and welcome to the Raw Obsidian Podcast. My name is Kris, and I am the maker here, doing the thing, doing the stuff. This is my corner of the internet where I just take you on a little journey with me, talk about knitting, sewing, etc., etc. We have a lot of fun here. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. And if you are new here, welcome. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry at Obsidian Brat. I also started a new Instagram solely focused on the making and less of like the world noise. I figured that I needed a little bit of, peaceful space. So you can find that at Raw Obsidian Knits on Instagram, and on the making app Raw Obsidian Knits as well. We're just racking up the social media accounts apparently. But yeah, it's been a bit since my last episode. I've been trying to give myself more time to make things, and to stay consistent with this podcast. And honestly, I think this is the balance. And it's wild that it took me this long to figure it out. I'm a really ambitious person, but I also pile on the things. And then get easily overwhelmed. And I know this about myself. I've known this about myself, and yet I still to this day keep doing that. So I am learning from past me and trying to make sure that future me has an easier time. And so this like couple of weeks no podcast, and then podcast when I have stuff and feel ready, feels so good. So thanks for just having patience with me while I figure this out. And I know there's quite a few people who enjoy the podcast, and honestly I wish I could do like weekly stuff, but I'm not super fast at my making, and that's okay. It's the whole point of slow fashion, slow processes. This is why I got into all kinds of things crafting. It's because it's a slower process. It's really intentional. And I'm not Shein. I am not Forever 21. I am not H&M. I'm not Zara. I am Kris. And I want everything that I make to be special and lovely, and then I want to share all of the special and lovely things with you in hopes to inspire you and find community with you in the slow making process. So that's my spiel on that. So things that I have been up to lately. I am utilizing this time that my husband Jordan is out of school, so I have been getting a lot of knitting, a lot of sewing done, and I'm also trying very hard to have more me time as a mom, as a new mom. It's really hard for me to not feel like I have to do all of the things at home and do all of the childcare for Zaz. I do have a very willing, loving, fully capable partner in life who wants to do the things, and I just need to relinquish control and like let it happen. So that is my current struggle. But in this practice of letting go, I've been channeling everything into making, which is awesome. And so I have cranked out 2 finished objects. Here they are. All right, so if you've been on my new Instagram, Raw Obsidian Knits, you have seen that I finished. I don't even really think I announced that I started this, but I finished my summer secret crop by Jessie Maed Designs. And it's so cute. It's very comfortable. It was such a quick knit. I don't know. There's something about fingering weight knits that intimidate me. Part of it is the small needle size, because I do have, from years of playing music, I do have a lot of carpal tunnel in my left hand, but a little bit of starting carpal tunnel in my right. And I also have just a family history of arthritis. So I have to, that's another reason why I take a long time to finish knitting projects, because I have chronic pain. And part of it is my fault and the other part of it is just genetics. So the fact that I finished this so quickly, I'm very impressed with myself. Where's my little tag? Where's my little tag? So I used, here's my tag, Mineville Wool Project, Merino Nylon blend, in the colorway number 3106. And this was, I made a hat out of using this yarn held double. And that was, I want to say, like over a year ago. Yeah, I had just found out that I was pregnant with Zaz when I had knit up that hat. And I still had so much of the yarn left over. And I still have a lot of the yarn left over. I have like almost a full cake of yarn. And there it is. It's super pretty. I love the yellows and the oranges and the greens that are in this yarn. It's definitely supposed to be a sock yarn with the nylon blend. But it's technically a sport weight yarn. So I used the needles that called for DK, I think, which is like a size 7 millimeter. No. Oh. It calls for 2 different needle sizes, one for fingering, one for DK. I won't even get into that because I can't remember for the life of me what needles I use. But I used the DK size. I didn't even swatch because I am evil. But this came out wonderful. I really enjoyed the double knit straps for these, and I did the 10-inch straps for this little crop, and it was perfect. Here, let me give you like a little closer look of the colorway and how it like spanned out. But yeah, it feels really good on. It fits like a glove. It's not super soft, but I mean, it doesn't, I'm not itchy when I wear it, so that's all that matters. And it's durable. And it's child proof, it feels like, which is what's really important to me these days. So yeah, my summer secret crop. And that was like really, really fun to knit. So fun that I have another one on the needle. My second finished object is my muslin mock-up for my Hinterland dress. I did the long midi version. I thought about cutting a little bit of the skirt off to make it shorter, but then I realized that I actually like the length. So this is, let's see, But the pockets finished so nicely. The bodice fit really well. And because I enjoy the way this fits, I will be dyeing this in indigo, as mentioned in a previous episode. My friends Sarah and Kagan are both farmers in the area, very magical humans, who have a lot of wonderful, wonderful things that they grow to give. I mean, this bouquet behind me is from Sarah. So at the end of farming season, the busy part of the farming season, we are going to gather the indigo that is being grown on the farm, and do a big indigo dye vat. And so I'm in the process of also just trying to make a bunch of white things that will be indigo dyed. So this is the first of many things that I want to dye. This still needs to be washed so it can crisp up a little bit. But other than that, I love this dress. It's very comfortable. A couple of things that really threw me through a loop is not really threw me through a loop, but just was a little of a learning curve, was doing the sleeves. I learned about how you do some gather stitches, 2 of them, and then you pull them from both sides and then you stretch them to fit the armhole. That part blew my mind. I was like, oh, this is how you get the perfect fit for a cap sleeve. And I had never done the cap sleeve before, and so that was really nice. It was so nice. And I still need to perfect my neckline, because I feel I don't know if you can see, but it kind of comes out right here. And I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to prevent the front of the neckline from turning out like that and turn it back in. And part of it is pressing, and I know a lot of people really don't like the pressing process of sewing garments. I personally love it, because it's it's so important if you want the finished details, the finishing part, to make your garment really, really look nice. It's so important to do. And I learned some wonderful tips just from watching the YouTube videos on how to press the arms and how to really get crisp edges, and make sure that those crisp edges from pressing help you get the perfect seam. It's so nice. I kind of geeked out about it and watched a ton of videos, and so I can see the improvement. And I know it's you sew a thing, you sew a seam, and then you press it, and it seems so tedious, but trust me, the pressing is everything. So let that be an encouragement that if you press it, it will look so good, and you will look so good. So I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. I have fabric for some Hinterland, another Hinterland dress, and a couple of Hinterland hacks. I think I'm going to do a shirt and then a dress, or just the skirt portion. Oh my gosh, I got floof from this. There's some kind of floof on it. But yeah, the Hinterland dress, y'all, it's beautiful. I highly recommend you make it. It's by So Liberated. I should have also said that. And So Liberated has amazing patterns. I'm obsessed. I have a bunch on my wish list. and things that I want to make from them. So go check them out if you're in search of some cool sewing patterns. Let's talk about my current whips. So this one is a whip I had mentioned before on Instagram. I started this when I started my new Instagram. And it is the Ballerina Wrap Top by 2 of Wands. Here we go. And so I finished one very long I-cord. And then I lost yarn chicken and got like only this far in my I-cord. So what I have left for this whip is I need to finish the arms and then add the I-cord edge for the front, the neck, and the other front, which is not going to take too much yarn, but as I said, I lost yarn chicken, and so this is still a whip. I used out of my stash the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend in whipped cream, and this is like a light size 3 according to the label yarn, and it's 392 yards or 358 meters, and it was interesting to knit with, I'll say that. I've never really knitted with cotton before, and it's soft enough, which is nice, but the most annoying part, I think, part of it is like my needles, is like I just kept splitting the yarn while I was knitting, and it drove me nuts. And I guess it's like a thing with cotton yarn unless you have like really nice needles. Trust me, Chigu, like lace, red lace one, like set is like on my list, preferably the shorties, or the Hayas. Those are like 2 brands that are on my list for metal knitting needles. The current ones that I do have are the Knitter's Pride Ginger Deluxe needles, and comes in this case, and here's what they look like, and I like these needles a lot. I prefer knitting, I mean, these double pointeds right here are like not part of the set, but I enjoy these needles a lot. I enjoy this set a lot. I prefer using wood, and for wood they are pretty sharp, but they are not nearly as sharp for knitting cotton. And I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the needles, it's something. It was not fun to keep catching and splitting my yarn while working this up, and so it's just like, I don't know, it was just not very fun. This is another thing that I plan on trying to dye with indigo, but I think I might have to do some kind of mordant or scouring in addition to scouring beforehand, because this has some polyester in it. But this pattern overall, I used the free pattern, which has a bunch of ads and stuff on it, versus the paid pattern, because I wanted to like kind of suss out if I liked it enough to pay for it. Especially with like wrap tops, I'm always like, I don't know, some patterns just I want to try the free version, and if I enjoy it and I want to keep it, print it off and like put it somewhere, then I'll totally pay for the PDF. But I like this pattern a lot. It was kind of a learning curve, specifically with the increases. I will say that I really wish that the edging for the front had included an I-cord edge in addition to the increases, because going back and picking up all of these stitches just to do an I-cord edge really grinds my gears a little bit. I have knit tons of patterns that have increases going in a triangular direction, very much like this, that have the I-cord edge built into it. Yeah, so I don't know if that is part of the paid version, but if it is, I'm going to be real irritated. But like, just the fact that you have to go back and pick up stitches to do an I-cord edge for this part and not just the neckline is just really, I don't know, it is so irritating to me. And I think that's my only critique of the pattern. But other than that, it's really, really nice. Really nice. The raglan is very much imitating a I-cord edge right here. So it goes on brand with the whole thing. But yeah, that's the only two cons, is the splitting. I just chose the wrong yarn in full honesty. So if and which I will, I'll definitely knit this again and I will pay for the pattern. But I will be choosing my yarn differently. Yeah. But yeah, that's the ballerina wrap top. It's very fun. Would recommend if the I-cord edge part doesn't irritate you. Let's go to my next whip, which is my second Summer Secret crop. I'm using a regular bowl for my yarn bowl because my previous yarn bowl met a tragic end. R.I.P. But what is going on here? There we go. So here's my second Summer Secret crop. And I am using this beautiful, beautiful baby alpaca silk blend yarn from Blue Sky Fibers. This is Metalico in the color Platinum. There's the tag. And this yarn, y'all, is so soft. It feels like luxury. And it's like also one of those yarns. It's a single ply, so it looks really textured and like kind of ugly on the needles, but like I feel like once it's blocked out, it's just gonna drape so nicely. Oh, it's gonna be so good. The different things that I'm going to be doing with this one is I'm going to add the double knit ties or the I-cord ties. I can't remember if it's double knit or I-cord. I think you get the choice. But I'm going to do ties instead of a complete swoop diddy whoop over normal strap. And I want to do that because this yarn is so luxurious. I feel like this top needs to look luxurious. And so I think a nice I-cord or double knit tie is going to really bring the whole thing together. I literally like wish I could just rub this on your face right now because it is just like, I can't stop touching it. It is just so nice. I had this yarn in my stash for years. I have 2 more cakes of it. So here's what it looks like up close. It's really pretty shimmery, shiny, soft, delicate. Oh, it's so nice. And I've never knit with Blue Skies fibers before, but I follow them on Instagram. And this is just like super nice. The skeins come in this beautiful braid. I wish I took a picture of the before. And they are about 147 yards or 135 meters. And yeah, hand wash or dry clean. I'm probably going to, I've been meaning to buy a steamer, and I'm probably just going to steam block this just to, I don't know, wet blocking it seems like really, really extra because of how, I don't know, maybe I'm just like being like really weird about it being like, it's baby alpaca and silk, oh my god. And I just want to treat it real good. Like, if there is a yarn that ever makes you want to say, baby, I want to treat you right, like, it is this yarn. It is so soft and so nice. But yeah, this has been really fun to knit up. One thing for sure, and probably the reason why my stitches look so funny, is it's a single ply. Let me just like hold it up for you so you can kind of see. Like, it's a single ply yarn. It's really like, it's well spun, so it stays together. It's really strong because there's silk, and silk is extremely strong fiber. But like, my tension, y'all, because I knit continental, and so like I'll be knitting and like the yarn is just sliding up my finger ever so slowly, but it's enough where I have to stop often and like wrap my finger around the yarn and re-catch my tension frequently, because it's just such a smooth yarn. So smooth, buttery, lovely. So that was like kind of a challenge, but after some time with the yarn, I can knit pretty quick with it. My tension is improving with it. There's just like, I'm like looking at it and there's like spots where I'm like, what the heck? And I'm just like, I'm hoping that it's just a matter of blocking it. I'm gonna steam it first, and if steaming doesn't do jack for it, I will have to wet block it, because it is just so uneven looking in some spots. I don't know, but I love this Summer Secret crop so much. The pattern is free. You can find it on Ravelry, or Jessie Maed's website. As always, I will link everything below. Yeah, Summer Secret crop number 2 on the needles, and I'm flying through this one. And I don't know, I've been like super monogamous with my knits, and that part of it is like they're smaller projects, they're not huge, because I was able to like bust through the first Summer Secret crop, and then I was able to get through my ballerina top like super fast, until I ran out of yarn. But I think I've kind of found my groove and my knitting mojo again, so that feels like really, really good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it up. Because I don't know when it's gonna leave me. So yeah, those are my whips. And now let's talk about acquisitions. Okay, y'all. I went to the thrift store, and my local thrift stores in town, one is like basically a giant warehouse. It's basically 3 giant warehouses. There's one warehouse dedicated to furniture, and then there's, for the one I went to, I should say, and then there's one warehouse dedicated to housewares, clothing, bedding, and I think that's it. I think there was more, but I just like didn't. I kind of stopped when I got to the fabric. I kind of lost it when I got to the fabric, I should say. yesterday I took, which is like, what is that? July 11th. I don't know when this podcast is going to come out. It was Tuesday. I took a little solo mom journey to one of our local thrift stores, the biggest one, I should say, and wanted to peruse and see what I found. And I found a teacup, and I also found the section where there was nothing but yarn and patterns and fabric, and it was all so deeply discounted, and there's so much of it. So let's go through what I got. I spent $4 on what seems like about 2 yards of this fabric, and like there's like a wrong side that it's kind of folded where you can only see the wrong side. Oh, that's the right side. There's the wrong side. And then, so that's what that looks like. And it's it's a very woven light fabric. So I'm thinking of maybe making another pocket skirt from Peppermint magazine. I made one in green and I love it a lot. But it's like a really structured cotton fabric, so it's like and so I want something more summery and flowy, but also something that I would enjoy wearing during the fall and the winter. So that's why I've got this, and it's really nice. And next, also this is like folded on the wrong side. I got about the same, like 2 yards of this really nice, I don't know, it's also like a cotton, maybe a rayon folded fabric, but that's what it looks like. I'm going to make another Hinterland dress out of this, and it's not going to be mock-up, it's going to be the real deal. I'm going to do a placket bodice, and I think it'll be really nice. I may or may not do the 3/4 sleeve. I might do a cap sleeve. I'm kind of feeling like a 3/4 would be really nice with this for like the fall. I don't know. I can't decide. But there's so much of this fabric, so I figured it's enough for the Hinterland and then some. The next fabric that I got is this like orange peachy linen, and there's about 1 yard of this fabric. I have no idea what I'm gonna make with this. I might do a second strata top. I might make something really cute for Zaz for the summer, like a little romper. Maybe a head wrap. I can't decide. It's not really usually a color that I would wear, but the fabric was just really attractive to me, so I really wanted to snag it. And it's soft too. It's not like too bad. It's not too bad. Very heathered looking. I don't know. We'll find something for this. Probably something for Zaz, because she needs some new fun clothes stuff. Lastly, I got this very wild pink reddish. It looks like brain, but it also looks like chewed bubble gum. And it's like this really nice soft canvas, or like it's just super structured. So I think I'm going to make a pair of overalls. Sew House 7 has these, like, what is it called? Like the Brooklyn bib? The Burnside bib? Pretty sure it's the Burnside bib. And it's like this really awesome, like kind of pinafore, kind of knot, like it's got a tie, like really scrunched back, and then you tie it in the front, and it looks like super comfortable to adjust with like belly bloating from like eating, or like, I don't know, like early stage maternity. And look at me already planning on like next round of maternity stuff. I am not pregnant, by the way, but I probably will be in the future, not the near future. But I got a lot of this fabric, so I figured I could make the Burnside bibs. The weirdest thing about this fabric, and like this is a good example, is that they like, whoever had this fabric before created a seam across the entire length of the fabric and created a giant tube on the inside. And it's really weird. I don't know what project they were working on when they got this fabric, but I seam ripped one section of fabric, and I have to seam rip this in order to get the full extension of the fabric. It obviously came off of like a roll, and they just like cut it in half down the grain, and just made two giant tubes. So who knows what's gonna happen there, but I am really excited about doing the like cool overalls from Sew House 7. I need to buy the pattern, and I'm gonna lean towards the PDF pattern, because I'm masochistic and I hate pattern piecing, let's be real, but like I'm also impatient and I want to do it now and have the pattern pieces now and not wait for the printed pattern to come in the mail. So that is that. While I was also at the thrift store, they had notions, y'all. Notions and like things that you would need, like 2-inch waistband elastic, and like I think this is like 1.5-inch fabric, so, or like elastic, so I do, and it's really nice quality, so I am stoked to have lovely waistband elastic, because oh my god, I also have more fabric acquisitions. Well, yeah, as I was saying with the waistband fabric, because I am planning on making a skirt using the bottom one for the Peppermint magazine skirt. I also, when I went to Walmart a few weeks ago, I always shop their bargain bin, and I am planning on making either depending on how I can piece things together, I'm really good at like smushing every piece of pattern together to utilize fabric. And so I can't decide if I'm going to turn this fabric into some Clyde work pants or another Clyde jumpsuit. This is some pretty heavy duty fabric, so I'm thinking we're going to do some work pants, which requires the elastic waist. Boop, boop. I also might just turn some work pants into overalls. We'll see. That hack kind of sounds exciting. I just like blooped into my head. Also, this would be like a pair of like Clyde work pants. Yeah. Or even bibs. I don't think there's enough in here for bibs. Or the Brooklyn bibs from Sew House 7. So there's that. I also got this interesting jersey sweater fabric in this like sagey, heathery green color. And I'm journeying into sewing with jersey. It is very difficult. I'm realizing that I need to buy a walking foot for my machine, which I'm not excited about because it's actually pretty expensive just for the dang walking foot. So that's that. Yeah, so pray for me with the jersey adventures, because I really want to do a jersey hinterland dress, just for like everyday wear, pajamas. I have like the Peppermint Magazine jersey dress that is like just waiting to be sewn, but I'm afraid to start it because my last attempt sewing with jersey was a freaking nightmare. So yeah, all adventures in sewing, all things that, you know, are just part of the learning process. It's difficult, but when you master it, it's good. And so I'm gonna try to master it. Also reminds me that I need to get my serger that I got from my neighbor going. I got some like all-purpose machine oil for it, and so I'm just gonna like try to like spend a day or a couple of hours while Jordan's with saws trying to figure out how to get it to work, because if I can just get a serger going, ooh, it's gonna make it so much easier to sew with jersey. So much easier. So pray for me about getting my lovely serger going. All right, now these last two are gifts from my neighbor Bridget across the street. Bridget, if you're watching this, thank you. Also Les, also Henry and Sam, the whole family, all of you are great. I love my neighbors, if you can't tell, particularly these neighbors across the street. And they went to London to visit Les's family, and came back with cool gifts. So the first is like my favorite thing. It's this coaster that says Knit and Natter, and I thought that's so cute. And after watching a lot of podcasts from people, other knitters and makers in the UK, in Europe, etc., this makes a lot of sense, particularly the UK. So this is really cute. It's like my favorite thing. It lives right here, so I can have my drinks and not ruin my working table. The second thing, which I think is so cool, is this Let's Knit like magazine bag. I guess it's like you can get this at newsstands. I don't know, like, look at that. It's so cool. It comes with this little like animal kit, the magazine, like there's just so much going on here. Yeah, here's the back. It's really cool. Let's open it. Oh God. And of course my everything scissors are becoming trash. All right. So here is the Animal Antics knit pack. Front, back. This is so cool. What else is in here? I think it's just that in the magazine. Yep. So here is the magazine. If there's anybody who lives in the UK and knows about these, comment and tell me about them below, because this is so cool. So it's got a bunch of like, join the 30-day knitting challenge. Like, it's got this cool like dress with a lace pattern, some tops, some baby knits. Oh my God. There's like this easy fruit veggie set, and it's really cute. Wow. This is like kind of cool. No, this is like really cool. There's a lot going on in these pages. It's got knitting patterns. for the one that was on the cover. There's this one that's got a little bow on the front. Oh, these are all like pretty conservative tops. This is really cool. It looks like a lot of those like slipovers that everyone's been knitting by Petite Knit. Oh, this is really cool, like a shawl. I don't know, this is awesome. I can't wait to like knit this, or not knit this, but like read this. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. This is so awesome. Wow. The way I'm just gonna be like, oh my gosh. There's the Lick a Needle ads, a bunch of needle ads, but there's, yeah. This feels like a Knit Picks magazine, like a catalog for sure. But like, oh, these are like, this is really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. All right, now we need to know about what's in this little, oh God. Okay, so what do we got here? Got a little, okay, they've got all of the whole knitting patterns are on this front and back page for every single piece of each animal, so you can choose. And then comes with, that's it, this is a very like squished up bag of yarn. Oh no, I think my child is up. All right, if you hear colored pencils in the background, it's Roz. She woke up from her nap. So, let's see. Definitely feels like acrylic yarn. Let's see if it says anything about the yarn. This yarn is produced exclusively for Let's Knit. It's 100% polyester and knits to a DK tension. Wash by hand to preserve your projects. All right. So yeah. Polyester. So this is the colors. This is what they look like. They're actually pretty soft. Hi, sweetie. They're actually really soft, so. And the skeins are like really small. I'm definitely gonna have to rewind these because they are already tangling. But that's a really cool thing that you can buy from a newsstand in the UK, in London to be exact. Look, Binky down. Here you go. Here you go. Nope, let's not touch that. Let's not touch that. Yeah, you can touch that though. Anyways, I'm gonna need to go because I have a small child that is ready to party right now. Oh. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you would like future content from me, hit that subscribe button and the bell to stay notified. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your week. I look forward to sharing more projects and more fun with you in the future. Happy making. Bye.